Hey everyone, welcome back to Silent Scream. If you're new here, I tell dark, creepy, and totally chilling stories that'll make you double-check your reflection before bed. If you're already part of the crew, thank you for coming back. You know the drill. Lights off, headphones on, and no looking behind you. Tonight's story takes us to an abandoned house. 3 friends, 1 dare, and a mirror that doesn't just show your face, it shows what's coming for you. Ready? Let's begin. The kind of silence that makes your skin tighten, like the air itself is watching. No one had lived there in decades. Everyone in town said the old Murdoch place was cursed, that people who went inside never stayed long or came out the same. But that didn't stop Tyler, Mia, and Jake. It was supposed to be a dare, just one stupid night before Halloween. Bring a flashlight, take a few pictures, post it, and leave. Easy. But as they stepped into the house, something felt wrong. The air was cold, too cold. Dust floated like tiny ghosts in their flashlight beams. The walls are cracked like dry skin, and the smell of mold and metal made them gag. Then, in the living room, they found it. A tall, cracked mirror standing in the corner, covered in grime, but not broken enough to forget what it was. And when Tyler wiped the glass clean with his sleeve, they saw themselves, standing right there. But in the reflection, something else was behind them. Something moving. It's you. At first, they laughed it off. "It's just our shadows," Jake said, trying to sound chill even though his voice cracked a little. He swung the flashlight around, but there was nothing behind them, just the peeling wallpaper and the staircase leading upstairs. Tyler leaned closer to the mirror. "Nah, man, that looked like a person." The reflection shimmered slightly, like heat waves on asphalt. Then the image snapped back into focus. Now the reflection was showing the 3 of them, but they were running through the same house, eyes wide, faces twisted with terror. Mia stepped back fast. "What the hell is that?" Tyler smirked, half joking to hide his nerves. "Maybe it's showing the future." Jake rolled his eyes. "Dude, chill. Probably just one of those old projection mirrors or something." But as he said it, the mirror flashed again, just for a second. This time, it showed Tyler alone, his shirt torn, his flashlight broken. He was crawling on the floor, his mouth open in a scream before the image cut out. Everyone froze. Mia's breath came out shaky. "Okay, that's not funny. Tyler, move." Tyler didn't move. His reflection was still staring at him, mouth open in a silent scream. Then, out of nowhere, a faint tapping came from inside the mirror, slow, measured, like someone knocking from behind the glass. Jake dropped the flashlight. Nope, I'm out." But when he turned to the front door, it was shut. Not just shut, locked. The brass handle wouldn't turn. He pulled harder. Nothing. "Guys, it won't open." Tyler looked back at the mirror. "Maybe it's..." The tapping stopped. Then a voice whispered from inside the glass, so soft they barely heard it. "Run." Mia screamed. Jake grabbed the flashlight and shone it right at the mirror, but the reflection was gone. The glass was just black now, reflecting nothing but the light. The whisper echoed again, closer this time. "Run." "Where?" Mia shouted. The floorboards groaned beneath them. The sound came from upstairs, heavy footsteps, dragging, slow. Tyler swallowed hard. "We need to go! Back door!" They ran through the kitchen, pushing past cobwebs and fallen beams. The air was thick, like breathing through wet cloth. But when they reached the back door, it was the same, locked, rusted shut. Then came the scream. It wasn't Mia's. It wasn't Jake's. It came from the living room. They turned back. The mirror was glowing faintly now, a pale white light pulsing like a heartbeat. Tyler took a step forward. What if it's showing? Don't go near it. But he did. He stared into the mirror again. His reflection stared back, shaking. Then the reflection reached forward. Its hand pressed against the glass, fingers twitching. Tyler whispered, "It's me." The reflection smiled, but Tyler wasn't smiling. Jake ran forward and yanked him back just as a crack split across the mirror like lightning. A whispering sound poured out like hundreds of voices speaking at once, too fast to understand. Then the lights from their flashlights flickered. The mirror flashed again. Now it showed all three of them, but the reflections were different. Bloodied, bruised, terrified. Behind them, a dark figure with long, crooked arms and no face was reaching for their throats. Tyler dropped the flashlight. "We're getting out." They bolted for the stairs, not because it made sense, but because the sound, the dragging footsteps, was coming from the hall. Upstairs was worse. The air felt heavier. Every step made the floor creak like bones snapping. They reached a long hallway. Doors on both sides, all closed. Mia pointed, "Bathroom, maybe there's a window." They ran in, slamming the door. Jake locked it. The mirror above the sink was covered in dust. Tyler wiped it off and immediately froze. The reflection showed the bathroom exactly as it was, but the door behind them was opening. Mia turned. The door was still shut, but in the mirror, it was opening slowly. A black hand, thin as a branch, reached through. Jake. She couldn't finish. Before she could finish, the doorknob rattled. Then, a slow scratch. Something dragging its nails along the wood. Tyler backed away, shaking his head. This can't be real. This can't. The light flickered. When it came back on, the mirror was showing something else. Jake lying on the floor, eyes open, blood pooling around him. "Stop looking!" Mia screamed, grabbing Tyler and pulling him back. She smashed the bathroom mirror with her elbow. Glass rained down, slicing her arm. She didn't care. The scratching stopped. Silence. Then, faintly, a whisper from behind the wall. "Run." They ran again, down the hall, through a bedroom, trying windows, all sealed tight. Every time they passed a reflective surface, a frame, a shard of glass, even a puddle on the floor, they saw flashes of themselves being hunted. The dark figure was always closer. At one point, Tyler saw the reflection show Jake tripping over a loose floorboard, falling, breaking his neck. He didn't say anything, but seconds later, Jake's foot caught the same board. Tyler grabbed him just in time. Jake stared at him, shaking. It's showing the future," he whispered. "It's showing how we die." They both looked at Mia. She was pale, trembling. "Then we just don't look," she said. "If we don't look, it can't show us anything." But the mirror in the hall had other plans. It started to hum, low and deep. vibrating through the floorboards. The sound crawled into their bones. The walls seemed to bend just slightly, like the whole house was breathing. Then, one by one, every reflective surface lit up. Tiny shards of glass on the floor, the cracked window, the mirror downstairs, all glowing with that same white pulse. The whispering grew louder. Dozens of voices, hundreds, all saying the same thing. Run, run, run. They bolted down the stairs, hearts pounding, lungs burning. The air stank of iron now. But the front door was open, just barely. Mia screamed, "Go!" Jake ran first, then Mia. Tyler was right behind them until something cold grabbed his ankle. He looked down. A hand, gray, skeletal, reached out from under the stairs, gripping tight. He kicked, screamed, pulled free, but as he stumbled out the door, he looked back and saw himself in the mirror one last time. His reflection wasn't moving. It just stood there, smiling. Then it reached out from inside the glass and grabbed his arm. He was yanked backward so fast, Mia didn't even have time to scream. Tyler's body slammed into the mirror and vanished. The glass rippled once like water and then went still. Jake fell to his knees. "Tyler!" The mirror showed nothing but their reflections again. Just Mia and Jake, shaking, pale, alive. Then the whisper came one last time, right behind them. "Run." They didn't stop. They sprinted out of the house into the night, not daring to look back. The moment they crossed the rusted gate, the sound stopped. The air felt lighter, normal. They turned to look one last time. The mirror stood there in the window, facing them. Their reflections looked normal until Mia noticed something. There were 3 figures in the reflection. The Murdoch house burned down 2 weeks later. No one knew how. The fire department said lightning must have hit it, but the sky had been clear that night. They never found the mirror. Mia and Jake tried to move on, but sometimes they'd catch their reflections acting wrong. A second too slow. A smile that lingered too long. Once, Mia swore she saw Tyler standing behind her reflection just for a split second before it blinked away. Jake stopped looking into mirrors altogether, covered them all with cloth. But sometimes, when it's quiet, when he walks past one by accident, he hears it again. That faint, familiar whisper, "Run!"